Hi everybody, this is PlanetWalls. I'm getting ready to play in the first round of the Classic Quarter Classic League. I'm playing something of a casual deck, as you probably will have seen from the prior video. I think it's poor in the metagame, I think it's poorly optimized, and I sort of built it to have a little bit of fun with this format. So I get to play against Enderfall. I'm fairly certain, I mean, anything can happen in Classic. You could get a bad draw, I could get a great draw. We'll see. This is a pretty bad draw. So let's see what I've got available. I can play City Traders, obviously, and a Mox Opal, followed by a Mirror Retriever. Then the next turn I can play Revoker. And that's pretty bad. From there I can use the Birthing Pod with City Traders and Mox Opal, but it's extra slow. If he has like a Wasteland, I just lose. Here's our opponent's deck, by the way. So it's a list here. I'm sure you can see it from his end because we're going to probably be posting these videos together. And let's see, does he have a Wasteland here? I'm sure he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, so he'll have a Strip Mine though. He doesn't have a Strip Mine either? Well, that's even better. So without any Wastelands, without any Strip Mines, maybe this hand is somewhat keepable. He's got a lot of counter spells, but I'm on the play. Gives me a little bit of room. If I did want to play the Phyrexian Revoker, what would I name? In his main, we have... Let's see, it looks like we've got... Jace. Riptide Lab. No, we can't name a land with Revoker. Lotus Petal. That might actually be the card to name, since I'm not worried about Jace for a little bit. So this is actually probably a bad matchup on top of the other things that I was saying, too. We already knew that. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand and see how this goes. I think mulliganing hands in Classic is probably bad a lot of the time. Ooh, my opponent mulligans, so we've got a shot. Right? Yeah, I think definitely naming Lotus Petal is the way to go. Hang on, let's bring this up one more time. This is just so you guys can see. We've got Force of Will to watch out for. You can Brainstorm into Force of Will. He's got Flusterstorms, which aren't very good against me at all. Mental Missteps are... they're actually pretty tough for me to deal with. Fire Ice, Ancient Grudge, Nature's Claims, those are all problems, so... yeah, let's see what happens. First thing we'll do is drop this awkward land that's going to die as soon as we find another one. And I think after that what I'm actually going to do is play the Mox Opal. See if he forces this. And then let's see. Play Revoker and see what happens. I think he could force this. If it does land, I'm definitely going to name Lotus Petal. Let's just make absolutely sure he's running 4 of those as thought. Yep, 4 Lotus Petal. So this is going to be... The plan of this game is going to be mana screw him. That was a pretty unimpressive first turn, though, I gotta say. My guess is that he leads off with a land, probably a fetch land, finds a duel, and then Nature's Claims Revoker. Or not. Okay, so that was like the best thing we ever could have drawn. Now, he probably has a Spell Pierce, but we could actually resolve this through a Spell Pierce, which would be just absolutely the best thing ever. Let me think if there's anything I want to do pre-combat. I don't think there is. I think I want to just get in there for 2. This turn is interesting, though, in that I do have the option of birthing potting into Junk Diver, which is pretty uninteresting. But let's attack first and see what happens here. Probably playing the Lodestone Golem is the right play if I can resolve it. Pretty likely, I actually think that the Mana Crypt doesn't resolve. I think you could force this. Nope. Okay, so now we have big 5 available, and I think we drop down the lodestone golem. We might have a game on our hands. So I feel like this sets him back so many turns if it resolves that he doesn't have the option to let it resolve if he has the Force Wall in his hand. That's my hope anyway. Okay, so let's see what happens here. What could happen is that our Mana Crypt or something gets Nature's Claimed, which would be a problem. But at least then I have a 5/3 and a 2/1 on the board. So yeah, pretty good. Mox Opal's going to be doing work now. I can turn that Lodestone Golem into a Precursor Golem. I can turn it into an Acidic Slime to break its land, or I can turn it into, let's see what else. What's my last option here? Turn it into a Zealous Conscripts to do something. Brainstorm, okay, sure. That's great, because it means he doesn't have a Force Will in his hand. Probably. Probably be a good idea to brainstorm anyway, see what he wanted to pitch. Still new to Classic. Getting used to all the interactions. It's quite different than Legacy, actually. Everything I'm saying you guys probably can't hear anyway over the fan. But I'll keep recording these as we move forward. Come on. Let this guy resolve. Nope, he's not going to. So, okay, he gets forced, and that makes sense because there was no way he was going to be able to make it through Lodestone Golem. He's down to 4 cards in hand, which is good. Does set back our Birthing Pod situation, unfortunately, but, you know, we can live with that. Hope his hand's full of Lotus Petals, though he probably put them back on top of his library. Huh. So I take it then he's going to Nature's Claim or Revoker? Because that Lotus Petal is definitely doing nothing right now. Yep. Well, that's kind of a disappointment, honestly. From here, the game is going to get worse. Got my hopes up a little bit. Yep. What do you guys say? I say tails. We lost the flip. That's how this goes. Okay. So, right now we have 4 available. If I drop Mirror Retriever, that leaves us with 5 available, and that's 3. If I play this land, that's a total 4 again. So we can play Mirror Retriever and Birthing Pod into Junk Diver. That's pretty unimpressive, and I'd actually rather just blow up this Tropical Island. That totally seems like the right play. I can't believe I just drew a Strip Mine there. That's probably the best card I could have drawn. So, I mean, I can keep just having this sort of stuff happen, which is fine with me. So let's see what happens if I do this. Mirror Retriever. Let's pot it up. Is he going to force this too? I don't think so. Maybe he's thinking about forcing it. I don't know. Oh, you know what? He could blow the Lotus Petal and maybe Spell Snare it. That would be cool. Okay, so hang on, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, he's got Spell Snare and Spell Pierce. So I bet he's sitting with Spell Pierce. Whoops. Bet he's sitting with Spell Pierce and Spell Snare in hand, and he wanted to save the Pierce to be able to deal with this. I do feel like I'm in serious trouble if he wins on the stack here. Even if it means blowing his only mana source, because I'll probably lose faster to Mana Crypt than he'll take damage from Mirror Retriever, even with my lands on the table. And so if he lets this pod resolve, I think he loses. So far, this has actually been kind of funny. I think my deck is a little bit underpowered. He had the mulligan, though. And so, ooh, it's kind of exciting. Maybe he's just going to Nature's Claim that or Ancient Grudge it. He's like, well, we'll hope we draw land, and then we can Ancient Grudge that. Okay, that's good for me, pretty sure. Unless am I lagging? I don't know. My computer's basically barely able to handle the stress of recording. No, we're going with tails again. Yeah, we'll win that flip. That's the best. Winning a flip feels like cheating. Ooh. That card feels like cheating. Okay, so what's probably going to happen this turn is that I attack for 1, birthing pot it into Junk Diver, and then equip a Skull Clamp to it. So I think I want to do that. Maybe I'm being silly. If I blow this, I could get a Revoker back and name the Lotus Petal, and that might be better than drawing 2 cards. Okay, so definitely sacrificing this for Junk Driver has to be right. We want to pay 1 in Phyrexian mana, so let's lose a bunch of life. Pay 1. Yeah, sure. Pay green. Okay, so what do we want to return? We have Lodestone Golem and Revoker. I think what I do here is I could actually just go quickly to return the Lodestone Golem, but I think I return the Revoker, and then just go ahead and cast it, naming Lotus Petal again. That seems right to me. So I'll just wait on the Skull Clamp till next turn. Okay, Junk Diver. You get in there, buddy. Does this guy get countered? Don't counter him. He's a bro. Look at his eyes. I take it that those things in the top of his head are his eyes. Maybe they're headlights, maybe headlights and eyes. So next turn, what can we do with Junk Driver? There's a card called Draw Scorpion that I almost put in the 4-drop slot. You should just look that card up. Well, I'm not going to be finding Lodestone Golem. I can find Summoner's Egg. That's pretty bad. So, we'll see. Summoner's Egg is funny. It's the way that I deal with situations when I have awful cards in my hand, most of which are... Oh. Well, I think that was the right play on his part. It's good that his 1 mana source is gone, but we're still actually in a highly vulnerable position, because he can just play a land and then Nature's Claim or Birthing Pot or something. Or he might not play land at all, and we'll just lose to Mana Crypt and Birthing Pot damage. Did I pick? No? Good. It was like it was trying to get me not to pick the right answer. Okay, so that's going to be insane for us if we can ever do anything. Mishra's Workshop is actually a weird card in this deck. Not even sure if it's good. So we're going to attack first. Hopefully his clock's actually going down. Sometimes I have doubts about that. I could retrieve a Retriever with Junk Diver. Do I want to do that so quickly? I think I just want to return the Lodestone Golem and make this game end real quickly. Am I actually clicking on Lodestone Golem? There we go. Let's actually bust this graveyard out and put it over here. That way you guys can see it too. In this format, I'm always desperately afraid that I'm going to misclick and screw everything up. So this is humorous. Yeah, drop that guy into play. Okay, so this might actually get a concession from him, not sure. Now it makes it extremely hard for him to deal with Lodestone Golem because he doesn't have any lands out. So maybe he drew for the turn, found a land, something to that effect. Or maybe he didn't find a land, and that means it's, you know, probable concession. But the way that this clock is set up, he's got 2 turns. I'm not even sure I really want to blow either of these guys. Every time I said that before, I was talking about blowing engineering explosives. I was like, do you want to blow this? Do you want to blow this? And everybody took it the wrong way. I suppose understandably. So losing the flip, that seems fair since I won the last two. I mean, when you think about it, this deck deals a lot of damage to itself, and so that's bad too. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to do something fun. So Frogmite can turn into an acidic slime. That's pretty bad right now. It can turn into a precursor golem, then one Swords of Plowshares would remove all my guys. That seems pretty bad as well. So what I think I do, I think I drop a Skull Clamp and equip it to Frogmite, and then do I sacrifice him in order to draw a million cards, or do I just try to end this game classy? I mean, it'll be classy either way. I guess I'm not worried about it not being classy. I'm not trying to be not classy. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't foresee myself losing this game, but it's certainly possible still. Well, okay. So I guess Skullclamp got a concession. So we'll move on to sideboarding, and that'll be interesting. I'll try to guess what he's going to bring in. I never know whether to GG before my opponent does. I know he's dealing with a recording right now as well. So he's going to bring in probably an Ancient Grudge, two Ingot Chewers certainly, maybe Surgical Extractions because of the graveyard package that I have. Probably a Nature's Claim. I don't foresee him bringing in Ley Lines. I can see him maybe bringing in one just to disrupt my Retriever plan, but the Retriever plan isn't actually essential. It's just like a card advantage generator. He's got an Nihil Spellbound in the main anyway. I think the way I win is by potting up into bigger guys that he can deal with quickly. So he's gonna... Oh man, his Snapcasters are so good. So what do we have? I like this little baby there. I think I bring in 2 Lodestone Golems. And actually, hang on. Let's see. Definitely don't want him to win with Jace. That would be bad. So what do I cut, and what else do I bring in? Keep looking at his deck. Formats where you can see your opponent's deck are certainly interesting. I don't know, is he going to bring in like a Welder? Doesn't really seem all that good. Okay, so I actually might want to keep it largely how it is. Maybe I bring in the Thorns. That might screw him up. I'm on the draw, which is kind of awkward for Thorn. I think that actually makes Thorn significantly worse, being in the draw. So maybe I'll refrain from bringing them in this game. If I lose, the next game I'll bring it. I think Frost Titan is a good card to run into. I think I cut the duplicate. I don't really feel like I need to worry about creature removal. I kind of want to cut the Elish Norn, leaving in the Guy's Revenge, and I can cut one more card then. I'm not sure what to cut. Though I do think bringing in the extra Lodestone Golems are good. I could cut the Summoner's Egg. That's pretty bad usually. Could cut a Retriever or something to that effect, but I think those cards are fine. Like Summoner's Egg is actually useful, like I said before, for dealing with like Frost Titan and Guy's Revenge, but I think I cut it here. Wait, where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Oh, there it went. Actually, Zealous Conscripts is pretty bad. It just allows me to get... Screw up, we're cutting Precursor Golem. I know I can cast that guy easily, but I want to move through Zealous Conscripts in order to get to 6 drops anyway. So, maybe that's a mistake. I haven't played with this deck as much as I should. Of course, anybody could say that about anything. But, So we got the double Lodestone Golem hand. If I can actually go Ancient Tomb into Mana Vault and tap it for Lodestone Golem, I'm going to be taking, I guess, some damage, but that gives me a first turn Lodestone Golem, and then I just basically end up playing this like shop. So this is, I mean, I guess it's sort of like a workshop deck more than it's like an affinity deck, even though it's running Frogmite. It's like a watered down workshop deck. I don't know, right now I guess I wish I would have brought in those Thorns. So we're definitely going to keep this hand, especially if he mulligans. Again, we only have 1 land, but he doesn't have any like Strip Mines or Wastelands in his deck, it looks like, so yeah. So that's okay then. Again, just looking at his deck. I guess this is just supposed to win with Jace. Or Snapcasters and so forth. Whoa, no, cancel. I want to keep this up. Nope, I'm not going to mulligan. It's nice playing a deck that can't interact with your opponent really at all during his turn. Okay, that's fine. So here's where I am hopeful that he doesn't have a Force of Will, and the actual card I don't want to get countered is the Manifold. I think I could recover from that, but getting a Lodestone Golem down this turn would be very good for me. Let's see, Daze? I like how I just suggest cards that I know would be bad, but I don't even think he has Daze in his deck. Glad he didn't Mental Mist up that Mana Vault. He may have cut Mental Mist up, actually. I have, 9 1-drops, I think. Man, I mean, this format, what's interesting is that decks have to sacrifice so much consistency for the capacity to be able to deal with a wide format and power level, and I feel sometimes like a card like Lodestone Golem might just make your opponent lose. Like, he probably has a Lightning Bolt and kept a hand where he was like, okay, here's our situation. We've got a Lightning Bolt and a red source, so if he plays Lodestone Golem, which he only has one of in the main, by the way, I'm speaking as Enderfall right now, right? As Scott. He's like, so we probably won't have to worry about the threat of a Lodestone Golem, and if we do, I can just draw another land to kill it. Well, I actually feel for that logic, and I think I would have made the same decision, but right now he's got a Lodestone Golem staring him down. So I'm not going to untap this because I can't, and we're going to take one. During our draw step, I believe, because these cards are weird. Yeah, so we'll take one. I'm not going to drop a land yet because I don't have anything to do during the middle of combat anyway. Only thing he can cast right now is a Mental Misstep, I believe, or a Force of Will. So we'll go ahead and get in there with this. The next play, I think, just has to be another Lodestone Golem. I cannot see any other play possibly being right, even though it means I take a ton of damage. If he forces this, he forces this, and it's like getting ball kicked by a Workshop deck if he doesn't. And I feel for him, because his deck is actually more nuanced than just a deck that happened to run into Lodestone Golems both games and was only playing one in the main. It's sort of a weird situation, but it's classic, man. Anything could happen is what I hear. Oh, man. I'm playing Workshop, apparently. Oh, I didn't get to say that. I meant to say GG. Well, he'll see me in the video, so I'll cut the recording now. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.